Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Late on a Sunday. Hey, it's been a minute. Missed out on Wednesday's show because there wasn't one. Wasn't up for it. And there's a lot, and I'm not gonna be on here all night. I'm not. This isn't gonna be some like trying to catch up on all the AEW stuff. I mean, I could touch on a couple things that have to do with Forbidden Door, but I'm not gonna sit here and review shows. I'm just gonna be covering different points of news that have happened over the last week. Namely, over the last few days, big stuff that happened at Dominion last night. We'll talk a little bit about Paige. Paige has been in the news. Some interesting stuff between her and WWE. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to give some thoughts on Alwayz Ready from the NWA from last night. Not a full review, just because I could go over the results, but so much of it is people that I've never seen before. So I'll just touch on certain things that stuck out for me, either whether it was positive or negative. And no, I'm not going to just, crap on the show. I'm not here to do that. Because if it was that bad, then I wouldn't bother talking about it. But there were some positive parts. So I do want to. There was some news. There's some big news that came out of it, and kind of made me a little more interested in the brand. We'll have to see. The tapings are going to be interesting. I'll say that. I see Bill's in the chat. Good evening, front row Bill. Bill, were you at the NWA tapings? Because I think they had the pay-per-view last night. Oh my God, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. Much love. The tremendous way to catch up on stuff, and my audience is just generous as usual. Much love. Thank you so much. You know what? I didn't even look at what it is. It's a hippo that's in a chair and it's on fire. Are you saying I'm fat? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Thank you. Because I can't see the sticker on the StreamYard here. I have to look at a different tab. Normally I have it open over here. Oh, that's right, Bill. You were at Lucha Expo. I'm going to have, you know what? I'm either going to have to bring you on here, or we're going to have to do a rundown of stuff that went down for your Expo Lucha on TNI. I don't know. I just think that'd be really cool. Or maybe we could just throw it in some Patreon stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But nonetheless, you got to give us some updates on that. I think that'd be really cool. No, I know you're not calling me fat. Does this headband make me look fat? No, I'm just kidding. Terrence is in here. Who else? That's it. It's late. That's okay. But if you do anything tonight, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications, folks. Because I don't even know when I'm going to do a show anymore. That's right, Booker Bill. What's up, Terrence? All right, so let's get into some stuff. And if you got questions about stuff, I can kind of turn this into a Q&A too. I didn't know if I wanted to do that tonight with, it's late, little notice, but seeing the audience I have here tonight. If you do have any questions about what's happened recently, my opinions on something, by all means, throw it in there. And depending on what it is, I'll do my best to answer it. And I'll kind of do that in between things, depending on what I get. So, get rid of that. Oh, that hippo is just, I'm sorry, it's just cracking me up. Absolutely cracking me up. Oh, no one in the Twitch today. That's all right. Question, Jay White. Yes, Jay White won. See, now that's you know what, we'll start on that. We'll get to that, Terrence. We'll get to that. He says that Camille Kylan match was awesome. He's talking about the women's NWA Women's Championship match from last night's NWA Always Ready. We'll get to that. Thank you. Yeah, so Jay White won against Okada, and he won the New Japan Pro Wrestling Championship. And now I have not watched the whole pay-per-view. I plan on catching up on that over the course of Monday and Tuesday when I have time, before we get to my usual AEW stuff. IWPG, yes. No, it's IW. I don't know what they don't call it New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's, yeah, there you go, IWGP. Anyways, try the pork. I'll be here all night. Like I said, I'll watch the whole thing, and I'm not going to review it because I don't watch that much to review. But like I said, there were some significant things that came out of this show that do affect AEW Forbidden Door, and it'll be very interesting for those of you who do watch AEW. It'll be very interesting to see how Tony reacts to this and how he, we'll just say, changes the card of the Forbidden Door show coming up in a few weeks, week and a half, whatever it was. Critical Sting. It says IWGP, International Wrestling Grand Prix. Is that what it actually stands for? Is that legit, or are you like pulling my leg? Because Grand Prix, I think of Grand Prix, I think of like Grand Prix racing. Jiminy Christmas, I need a energy drink. No, I shouldn't drink one of those this late at night. What's funny? I just thought it was. I didn't know. Is that what it actually means? Anyways, but thank you, Critical Sting, for popping in here. So it was Hangman Adam Page. He says yes. Okay. I never knew what that stood for. I never do. I never call them, I never see them call it that. So Polar Family, good evening, says Jay White more than earned the title. He's been really good lately. He's been, it really feels, how do I say this? Bullet Club and its members, it goes through waves, doesn't it? it goes through waves. This is another peak where, everybody's got the belt. Well, not everybody, but they got a few belts in their midst. Ace Austin just joined. That's like a big thing, especially internationally for the US. Carl Anderson won. That doesn't necessarily affect anything at Forbidden Door, but it'll be great to see if he brings that belt everywhere. I'm assuming he will, but never, I gotta say, I never assume anything in the world of professional wrestling. But Jay White is champ. I can't wait to watch the match back. And his promos, my God. His promos, I say promos because he cut one in the ring and then he cut one backstage with his crew. They pretty much went viral. And Courtney says she wants AJ Styles back and Finn in the Bullet Club. That's too many big. That's too many big figureheads. It wouldn't work. I mean, some other version, maybe in another stable somewhere. Sure, I think that's what they should have done in the WWE, but that's neither here nor there. It seemed like that's what they were starting to do, and then they flipped the script. But anyways, back to Jay White. So the thing with the Forbidden Door was Hangman Adam Page called out Okada. And he wanted to challenge Okada at Forbidden Door for the Iwgp title. It just doesn't flow. Just doesn't. I'm just not used to it. New Japan World title. Anyways, Ronan Blue says, I feel Jay White will be Impact champion one day soon. It depends on how much New Japan is included, but that's another discussion for another time. I wouldn't complain. It was great when Jay White, Kenny Omega was champ. But that's a completely another, he didn't belong to us. He belonged somewhere else. But anyways, so where does that leave Forbidden Door? We know one thing for sure. Moxley's going to take on, is it Tanahashi? I want to say it's Tanahashi. I always get the Tanahashi and the Takahashi screwed up. That's not meant to like insult any names. I just don't watch the product enough to get it right. I'm just an old bone. Someone will correct me. Jay White went full scorched earth. Yeah, he did. Jay White, in his promo, I'll just paraphrase here, so pardon me. Morales, what is up, man? Good to see you. And this is hilarious. I mean, it's brilliant in the same breath. It's brilliant as well. Tanahashi, okay. That'll probably change about 5 times in the chat. Watch. Anyways, he said that it's because now he is famous for saying his things about selling out Madison Square Garden. He says he sold out the United Center for the Forbidden Door. By the way, Forbidden Door just opened up a bunch of seats behind the stage area, way up on top. So there's about 1,000 more seats you can scoop up. Go get your seats in for the show. 8, 9, 10 new sections opened up, whatever it was. I'm thinking about going, but I can't go to everything. So I'm picking and choosing what's going on that week. I'm actually picking Summerfest because I'd rather see one of my all-time favorite bands. Excuse me. You can always see wrestling. At least, wrestling's always on TV. So at least I got it that way. But anyways. So the match for Mox is set. And I don't want to assume it's going to be a great match. Don't get me wrong. But Mox is one of my favorites. And even though he's facing the ace of New Japan, I'd really like to think that Mox is going to win this and he'll be champ through, we'll just say, the summer. I don't know how long Punk is going to be out. I can't wait to see those two go head to head. It's I believe Punk, when he came back to wrestling, he said something to the effect of, I've faced Dean Ambrose, I've not faced Jon Moxley. That speaks volumes right there. That just shows how long it's been since those two have been in the ring together. Remember Dean Ambrose? Remember that Shield guy from, oh my God, is it 10 years ago now? 10 years ago is a little pushing it. It's about 9 years ago. 2013 going into 14. We'll just round it up and say 10. Anyways. Bell's Boy says, good Sunday to you, Senor Jabon. In my opinion, Jay White is the number one in professional wrestling right now, bar none. I almost read that wrong, and I thought he was going to say I was number one in wrestling podcasting. I wasn't going to argue with you. But no, you know me. I'm not like that. I stay humble on here. I stay humble on here because I know I'm a small fish in a big pond of the YouTubes. Those YouTubes, those internets. So yeah, I can't wait to see Mox, wink wink, become champ. But now what happens at Forbidden Door for Hangman Adam Page? And then Adam Cole wants to throw his hat in the ring for that match too. So does that mean that Okada is going to wrestle in a match for like nothing on the line, just for like bragging rights? Or is Jay White going to defend his newly it's Zack, you're so goofy. Is Jay White going to defend his newly crowned title at Forbidden Door against Hangman and Adam Cole? I thought I read somewhere that Adam Cole is banged up and or injured. There's a lot of people on that injury list. That injury list is becoming long and distinguished. Here's an interesting opinion. Critical Sting says, not that I'm the biggest Hangman fan, but Cole doesn't need to be in that match, in my opinion. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, excuse me. I'd like to see Cole get involved in like a multi-man match, and especially if he is banged up, that'd be the perfect way to protect him. put them with the Young Bucks against some New Japan stable. Easy. I don't know. What Chaos? I don't know. There's a few different ones out there. Paul Nelson, my favorite nephew. Zach Bonifer says, I am a #1 merchandise seller. I'll be honest, I have not sold a shirt in months. That's not me whining or complaining. I realize times are tough right now. Trust me. I'm not going to sit here and beg people to buy my merch. I just have it there because I think it's good-looking merch, and it's a way to help support the show. So we'll leave it at that. Oh, man. Now, PWTs, we do sell some PWT shirts for TNI. That we do. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I don't know what Tony's going to do for that. Is he going to give... Well, I mean, this isn't necessarily up to TK, but is Okada going to get a rematch against Jay White at this show? And then we throw in Adam Cole and or Hangman Adam Page. Make it a fatal 4-way. Then, of course, you're going to get some shenanigans because it's no DQ, right? So, yeah, we have to wait and see what happens with that. We can go on about that all night. Congrats. I think I mentioned this. Carl Anderson beat Tamatanga, I believe, the Never Open Weight Championship. I don't think he's ever held that one. Good for him. Good for Carl Anderson getting a singles title. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's him and Gallows doing a thing. Winning titles, losing titles, whatever. What else? We could jump back to the Good Brothers in a little bit and talk some Slammiversary updates. Paige, let's talk some Paige. Paige announced, pardon me, Paige announced that her contract is coming up, I believe she said in a month or just less than a month, July something. And as far as I know, she's not going to have she can show up anywhere. She's not going to have a clause in her contract saying, 30 days, 90 days, whatever. She hasn't, hell, she's been inactive for 5 years now? It's been 2017 since she's been in the ring. Zack Bonifer, too many pages. Yes, we're talking about the female former NXT, former, I don't know, what was she? Divas champion? She was, I don't know. It's just been a while, She hasn't been around much, so I know she's Bill throwing his opinion here about Carl Anderson. We're going backwards. That's all right. Says, forget that 2012 G1 finalist, now a singles champ, right? Buckshot Kid, good evening. So yeah, Paige leaving WWE. I don't know if it's a thing where they're just not re-signing her or Um, I don't know exactly what it is. I know she's been defiant and she's been on her Twitch, even though you're not supposed to have a Twitch. How she gets away with it, I don't know. But then I thought I heard something within the last 6 months to a year that they changed that and they're letting people do that or something. I don't know. It's been wonky. Um, I have no idea. So yeah, give me your thoughts on Paige leaving WWE. She says, once again, I'm paraphrasing here. She said something about she wants to get back in the ring, but she doesn't know when. Um, I think she's in a situation where I don't think WWE is going to clear her. Um, I just don't know how she's doing physically. I don't think there's been any footage out there of her like being in the ring and working out or running the ropes or whatever they call it. I have no idea, but I know she's very public on her Twitch. I just never watched her on there. But she, man, she made what, $500,000 on her Twitch last year. I heard something like that. Not bad. Not bad. She doesn't have to come back to wrestling if she's making that kind of money on her Twitch. Jiminy Christmas. I don't even know what the hell she's doing on there. Is she just talking? Or is she playing video games? What is she doing? I don't even know. So I know, and I know a majority of my audience here is either AEW and or Impact Wrestling fans, amongst other things. I don't want to assume where she wants to go. I think she wants to stay in professional wrestling somehow, some way. She could certainly do it in her own native country, in the UK. Pretty sure she's from the UK. And I have no idea what's going on with her. Speaking of her family's business, I have no idea how that's going. I don't know if they're doing shows or what. I have not heard anything. I've heard about a few different, like Wrestling Carnival, whatever it's called. The one that Bison from TNI UK, he's interviewed a fair amount of people from that company. And they just had some Impact people. Eric Young, I think the name of someone. Buckshot Kid. You're more entertaining than Paige on Twitch. I don't even know how to respond to that because, like I said, I don't know what she does on there. But thank you. I'm not earning $500,000 on Twitch. I can tell you that much. Bill says she didn't get a new offer from the WWE. Feels she can compete and that she'd wrestle for a different promotion for the right price. Okay, that I've heard. Yeah, I heard that quote today. Take that for what it's worth. So something tells me she wants more than a $500,000 to wrestle. And I don't even have a clue of what she was earning per year not wrestling. The last 5 years, she's just been off TV. Zack says she's got 226K followers. She games, talks about different stuff, variety of things. Well, damn. Not bad. She can do anything she wants. She can act. She can go back to wrestling. She can become a valet. She can get back in the ring if she's cleared. Paul asks, Uncle, you going to Slam? How long is the drive? The drive is too far. That's I'm assuming you mean Slammiversary. Um, I'd love to. By the way, let's talk about that for a minute. I've been seeing a lot of talk online about it not being sold out. I'm really kind of shocked because it doesn't seem like it's in that big of a place. Like I'm guessing 1,000-seater, give or take a little. This is like one of their biggest shows of the year, and it's subjective. Some people say no, it's Slam. Other people say no, it's Bound for Glory. I mean, those two are obviously two of the bigger ones, depending on the card. But I mean, you could come up with a number of excuses why it wouldn't be. But one thing I did want to touch on, they are doing they're going to be doing a bunch of media this week. One final push. The Slammiversary's on Father's Day. Hey, there you go. Father's Day. To tell my wife to buy me the pay-per-view. No, it's kidding. Would I love to go to Slammiversary? Absolutely. Am I going? No. No, I'm saving my money for some other stuff. Skid the roll. Saving for skid the roll. Going to bang in my head. But yeah, it's a great card. And the card's not even done. You know they're going to throw some more people. Paul wants Bill to come up in here. That's up to you. That's up to you. It's probably past Bill's bedtime. Anyways, I don't know what he has planned for tomorrow. But yeah, I don't care if he pops in here. More than welcome. I don't know. I mean, and I've seen people talk about, oh, it's marketing. They got to market it better. They got to advertise better. Yeah, there's a number of things they could do. Advertise on other programming. I think a lot of people will be, and I know Bill has said this too within the last week or so. He said he thinks, and I agree with this, he thinks that this is going to be a big walk-up audience for Slam. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I mean, there's a decent amount sold. I think I really haven't seen numbers. So yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see. So she's got like a month left. I really don't have any like qualm as far as where Paige is going to go. I mean, she's not going to go to some place like MLW. She's going to command a big stage. And no, I don't think she's going to go to Impact Wrestling. Great roster, but there's no way the higher ups in Impact Wrestling are going to pay what she wants. But anyways, so that doesn't leave too many places. Ring of Honor. Okay. TK is going to come calling. All right, let's talk some other stuff. We're a little over half an hour into this. I'm on the Wrestle Talk wrestling page, or news page, I should say. AEW's Chris Jericho and WWE's MVP apparently aren't really friends anymore. It was late at night at some hotel lobby, and apparently there was some falling out within the last year or two, something with politics. And no, I'm not going to get into details on that because I don't know who was chewing who out about what. I don't know. I don't care. I hate politics in general. Both sides suck. All sides suck. Period. End of subject. So the funny part of this is, now I don't know if this is true or not. This could be, some ham and egger, some pencil neck geek in the shit sheets making up something about MVP invited Chris Jericho to discuss the matter outside. And while Chris Jericho was getting into an elevator leaving the situation, he said, I don't fight jobbers or jabronis or whatever. as the doors are closing, which left MVP screaming in the lobby. I can picture this. I can picture this happening, and people trying to like hold MVP back. Oh my God, it's just absolutely hilarious. So whether that's what happened or not, I don't know. I just think it's hilarious. One and or both men probably had a few shots in them. Who knows? Swag fan, good evening. Bell's boy says, Soraya to Impact Wrestling confirmed. I'd be shocked. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't know what she's asking for. And it depends on what she's able to do. I think she's going to have to go through X amount of doctors and see who clears what. Or maybe she's been doing that over the last handful of years, trying to get back to the ring, and good old Vince won't let her. Who knows? We really don't know. Or maybe she's been talking about that. I have no clue. I have not heard any news about her in years. Other than Alberto El Patron. All right, what else? Yeah, I just wanted to bring up the Jericho MVP thing. I thought that was funny. Oh, WWE changing current tag team name. This is about Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, collectively known as the Dirty Dogs. Dirty Dogs spelled DAWGS, because that's what cool people spell them like. However, WWE may be making a slight tweak to their presentation as they filed a trademark to the name Dirty Dogs, dog spelled DOGS. Okay. For those of you upset about me reading that, I'm sorry I can't give you that few minutes back. I'm upset at myself. I'm not going to read that. Okay, let's talk about NWA Always Ready. Namely, here's the big news coming out of there. Aaron Rex, the former Damian Sandow, retiring from wrestling. kind of sad. He's been in okay shape, like when he joined the NWA, and then I really got away from it over the course of the last year or two, whatever it's been, during the great panini of the last few years. And so I really hadn't seen what he or anyone for that matter was doing in NWA, other than, you hear about who's champ and whatever. That's about it. He looked great in his last match. He looked like he was in really good shape. And yes, I still have the Damien. You know what? We'll bring it down. We'll dust him off. Literally, dust them off. The rare Damien Mizdown fig, which could probably pull for one of the bad guys in the Superman 2 movie, I believe it is. I think about that way too much. It's just kind of weird. Anyways, good old Sandow. And I think some of his Damien Mizdow stuff is honestly some of the best stuff he did comically. Sucks. So, but hey, whatever he's choosing to do now, I don't know exactly why. If it's a physical thing, if it's just he doesn't feel like he can, make it bigger anywhere else, I have no idea. I didn't exactly like his stuff in Impact Wrestling. I liked it for about 2 seconds, and then it got weird. And then that's a period of time in Impact Wrestling when I was really back and forth on it, so I really wasn't keeping track of what he was doing. I I have no idea as far as WWE letting people go. I have no idea. They let one guy go, I saw on Wrestle Talk, but it was some guy that they had around for a few weeks. So I don't even really know why it's news, but whatever. WWE letting people go is like clickbait at this point, Yeah, good old Damien Mizdow. So yeah, who knows what he's going to do now? Best of luck to him in all of his future endeavors, you could say. Critical Sting here says his Impact Liberace gimmick was not to be remembered. That's what it was. Yeah. Like when he came in and he was like, cutting a promo on whatever he was cutting a promo on. I don't remember, but I remember I enjoyed it. And there is a new champ in NWA, the 2-time. I almost said Dick Murdoch, Jiminy Christmas. Trevor Murdoch is 2-time NWA champion. Good for him. My feeling was anybody but Nick Aldis. He doesn't need to be champ in NWA for a long, long time. I mean, I feel like he's a good wrestler, but he certainly wasn't one of my favorites. I give him props for doing what he could to hold the brand up for, when Corgan was trying to get it going again. But that's all subjective. I know a lot of people don't like him. But anyways, the main event was fine as far as wrestling, But the fact that it took like over a half an hour to figure out what the hell was going on, there were people in the Discord chat last night while watching it. Was, you know, a few of you guys were like, "Oh, they're gonna go off the air and not crown a champ," and I was like, "Oh hell no!" And and I don't remember who in the chat said it, but someone said to the someone said something to the effect of, Corgan's done this before or something. I don't know. Or NWA's done this before. I don't know. But it was Murdoch versus Aldis versus Sam Shaw. Great to see him back. Versus Tom Latimer, a.k.a. Bram. Or Bram? Bram? I don't know. Latimer. But yeah, it was a fatal four-way. Courtney wanted Sam Shaw to win. I thought that would have been interesting. Would have been a hell of a way to bring him into the company. Hey, by the way, you're champ. Corgan probably would have gotten some flack for that because he's a former WWE guy. Speaking of former WWE guys, poor Jiminy Christmas. Mr. Always Ready himself had to give up the title. Oh my God. Completely drawn a brain fart here. But anyways, that whole thing between him and Corgan, way too long. That went on, well over half an hour. And you could tell the crowd was getting antsy too. And then more people came out. Matt Cardona, Jiminy Christmas, thank you. Christopher, thank you. Brain's getting tired, apparently. But yeah, so he was out there with his whole crew, and it just dragged. It just dragged. But the fatal four-way was fine. It went all over the place, chairs all over the, flying, whatever. Yes, men's tag titles got new champs. It was La Rebellion versus the Commonwealth, I believe they were called. Do I even have the notes here? I think I got the notes here. Because I'm just throwing stuff here. Here we go. Yeah, the Commonwealth. Somewhere in here. Jiminy Christmas. Can't even read my writing. Must have been a rough night last night. Harry Smith Jr. and Doug Williams. There we go. And new. And that match was fine. I had to look up and see how old Doug Williams is. He came out of retirement within the last year or two, I believe. He's 49, just a hair older than me. Harry Smith Jr. is 30-something, 35, 36, I believe. So he's still got a lot of years to go. So yeah, new tag champs. Tyrus beat Mims, excuse me. Jeez Louise. Lot of titles here. A lot of titles. Some I just didn't even really care about. Homicide beat a kid named PJ Hawks, and then he also beat Colby Carino. So he defended his junior championship, a junior heavyweight championship, twice. Man, Homicide just killing it in the NWA. Jeez Louise. Let's talk about the women. The women killed it. They absolutely killed it. Excuse me. We got new women's tag titles. The Hex were beaten by the pretty empowered Kenzie Paige and Ella Envy. I believe that's what it is. I don't think I wrote that right, but and that match was all right. Local girls, pretty empowered are some local girls down in Tennessee, so they got a nice pop. Yes, Bills boy, thank you. I'll touch on that. Taya Valkyrie debuted on NWA last night against Natalia Markova. She had Taryn Terrell with her. Natalia Markova won. And I'm going to call that an upset. I really don't know anything about Natalia Markova. I don't know how long she's been around, but that match was fun. Taya looked good. She looks good anywhere she wrestles. And then the NWA Women's World Title, Camille defending against Kylan King. Bully Ray was on commentary. Very proud of both women because he trained both of them in his wrestling school, the Dudley's wrestling school. Oh, okay. All right, I'll quick bring this up because I don't want it to get buried and then I'll forget about it. So this is what's happening. If you do listen to Busted Open Radio, I'm going to try to catch this tomorrow. Depends on when I get up. This here is the schedule for Impact Wrestling on Busted Open Radio. Busted Open Radio is getting taken over by Impact Wrestling. Speedball Bailey, like Bailey, 10 a.m. Eastern. Jordan Grace, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Mia Yim, 11 a.m. Eastern. And The Walking Weapon, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Pretty good. Pretty good lineup there. Speedball Mike Bailey has been absolutely killing it everywhere he went. I did not watch. I saw it. I saw a clip of the match online somewhere. But he took on Mox last night. I'm going to try to catch that someplace on a Fight TV or somewhere. That whole card for Wrestling Revolver was stacked. And the fact that Mox was taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. Jeez Louise. Crazy. So yeah, check out Busted Open Radio because Impact Wrestling is taking it over. Thank you, Bell's Boy, for reminding me of that. Appreciate it. Bell's Boy also says he's not surprised Markova went over. I think Ty is doing favors to the young women. That could be, but like I said, I don't even know how young Natalia Markova is. I don't know if she's new. I don't know if she's like been in the industry like 10 years. I really don't know. Yeah, Ty is also doing stuff on MLW. I don't know who she's fighting, but I might check it out. I'll follow Taya anywhere. What else? All right, so let's go back to the NWA show a little bit, shall we? Kylan King versus Camille. Camille does retain here, but then gets introduced to someone new. Comes out Max the Impaler. She is formerly of Ring of Honor. Apparently she's not going to Ring of Honor. then again, maybe she will. Because she's also appearing tomorrow night on Dark Elevation, I believe. It was something that was taped last week. I don't know who she's. She's facing Nyla Rose. I heard a lot of people lately saying they wanted that match specifically. Nyla Rose versus Max the Impaler. Well, guess what? You're getting it. But you got to watch AEW Dark Elevation tomorrow night. I did happen to see that. I think that was something Courtney shared in the Discord or something. So thank you for that. But yeah, Kylan King and Camille, in my professional podcasting opinion, match of the night at NWA, Alwayz Ready. And that's kind of funny to say because Champ had to give up his title, which means he wasn't ready. So in theory, he should have been match of the evening defending his title, but he couldn't. But that thing just dragged on way too much. Hemming and hawing and no, I don't want to. And then everybody's showing up. And then, okay, now you want to be in the match, or you want to be in the match, and you want to be in the match. It was like an Oprah Winfrey show. It was crazy. So there were certainly some pros and cons to the show, but those are the highlights that I'm wanted to talk about. Oh, Aaron Stephen wrestled Trevor Murdoch. And I did want to just at least mention this. Rodney Mack. Damn, I have not seen Rodney Mack wrestle in probably well over a decade. Somebody in the chat was saying, is he still married to Jazz? I think they are. I thought they had their own wrestling school down south or something. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, Rodney Mack was on the show and went over against a guy named Magic Jake. No clue who this Magic Jake was, but his we'll just say his valet was something like hilarious. She was supposed to be helping her sidekick Magic Jake and like getting him a chair when the ref's back was turned. And she was just like, showing the chair to the audience, like, here's a chair. That was something actually really funny because, she was becoming really annoying to Magic Jake. No magic there for Jake. Rodney Mack did win. Samuel Shaw looked great. Got a great response. It'll be very interesting to see what he does in the NWA. Corgan showing up right before the main event, looking like a gangsta. He's Critical's thing says he was ready, just not available. I would actually say it was the other way around. He was available, just not ready. Because he was there. He was available. Anyways. But and it's a bummer for Matt Cardona because he has become one of my favorite guys to watch in the last year, reinventing himself on the indies, reinventing himself in Impact Wrestling, amongst other places like the NWA, becoming champ. And I feel bad for Corgan because now he's got to bet on someone else. I maybe wouldn't have put it on as much as I think Sam Shaw would have been a cool gamble to do, but I think you've got to show this audience who he is first before you do something like that. Latimer, I would have went with Tom Latimer. And to hear Camille get in Corgan's face, I have never heard Camille. See, I got away from NWA and I never heard her talk before. And when I heard her talk with that Southern accent, I was like, oh my God, she speaks? And no, I'm not making fun of the accent. It was just, I didn't know what to expect. So when So when she grabs a mic and gets in front of Corgan and is like, "You put my man in the main event," and she went off on him and just yelling at him in the Southern accent. I was like, "Oh my God, look at her go! She does talk." I would have picked Tom Latimer. Guy's been around for a long time, and honestly, looking at him last night, I don't think he's been in this good a shape since his Ascension days. If you know, you know. And that's going way back. I know some people are going to say, what? He was in NXT's Ascension? Yes. He was an OG Ascension guy right along Big Con. What is it? What is he called now? Connor back in the day? But yes. To Love Impact with the emotes on the Twitch. Thank you, brother. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, thanks for the little facts here. Bell's Boy says Natalia Markova's 33 years old. And she's been wrestling since 2007 in her native Russia. Jabo, thank you. Wow. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long she's been over here. I think she's still a newer face here. You know, I didn't know if Markova was like a gimmick. You know, some people just do the Russian gimmick, but they're actually from Minnesota. It's like Nikita Koloff, you know. It's but like, you know, Slamovich, she's from Russia by way of New York as well. So that's interesting. 2007. Wow. So she's been wrestling like as long, if not longer, than Taya. So Markova's been around. Good for her. Very interesting. I think that's pretty much it for NWA. I don't know if there's any other stuff here I was going to touch on. I don't think so. Let me just quick look at the news pages here. Oh, one thing I missed from the Dominion stuff. A couple quick things here. Will Osprey wins the IWGP United States title at Dominion. Now, I don't think he actually had the title because someone in Chicago still has it. That's Juice Robinson. He just had appendicitis. So he's not up for wrestling for a bit. I have no clue what the recovery time on that is. So don't ask. But yeah, I mean, that's understandable. If he's going to be out for longer, you know, a significant amount of time, you got shows to do. You got a tour booked. You got to do something. It's understandable. So, you know, I hope Juice recovers quick. Oh, sorry. That's Rock Hard Juice Robinson to you. It's, I'm sorry. That's kind of funny, me saying it, especially you pointing that out to me. I'm not sure what the Rock Hard gimmick is. I don't want to assume. But hey, good for Juice, because apparently that means the juice is loose. Anyways, if you know, you know. Zack Saber. Okay, so congrats to Will Osprey. Zack Saber Jr. apparently in his promo after whatever match he had, excuse me, called out Bryan Danielson for Forbidden Door. Jiminy Christmas. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Saber Jr. I don't think those are two guys that ever faced off before. Two of the best technical professional wrestlers on the planet going head to head. Oh my God. Give them 20 minutes. And just, you could twist each other up into pretzels. Give it to me. Bill's Boy says Sonata had to vacate the belt due to Will Osprey breaking Sonata's orbital bone? Yeesh. Wow. Oh yeah. So Juice has the belt, and he's going through appendectomy soon. I'm assuming sooner rather than later. You can't put that kind of stuff off because if that bursts, that can kill you. There's an ongoing curse with the U.S. title, says Critical Sting. Seems like it. Wasn't always that way. Started out really good. But anyways. So yeah, Zack Saber Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. That's assuming Bryan Danielson is going to be able to. You know, there was something about him getting banged up at a show a week or two ago. So, yeah, we went just a little over an hour, and that's pretty much all I really wanted to touch on. The stuff that went down in New Japan, how it affects AEW. We're going to have to wait and see on that. The news with Paige, going to be a free agent in about a month or so. We'll have to see what her future is. Does she return to the ring? Where does she go? What is her future? Is she healthy enough to go in the ring? We'll find out. And then news coming out of NWA, Always Ready, about Matt Cardona giving up his title, new champ. The women killed it, though. The women absolutely killed it. They stole the show, in my professional podcasting opinion. Bell's Boy says Paige versus Jay White at Forbidden Door. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know. Paul says Trent is the U.S. champion, uncle. Okay. But yeah, so Forbidden Door is going to be fun. A lot of the card is a mystery right now, of course, but should be good. I don't know if it's going to be $50 good, but it'll be good. So that's it for this one. Just wanted to catch up on some stuff and wanted to get on here because I missed out on Wednesday. Just wasn't up for it. So yeah, we'll be back. Maybe tomorrow night, depending on what I watch during the day tomorrow. Probably not doing anything with Raw, although I am very curious to see what's happening with the best heel in the show, Seth Rollins. It's my opinion. So we'll see. I'll either talk about some news or I'll review something else that happened over the weekend. There was so much wrestling over the weekend. It was ridiculous. There was AAW. There was Wrestling Revolver. There was New Japan. It was NWA. Just so much. And other stuff even. It was just crazy. But yeah, I'll come back tomorrow night or Tuesday night. The Tuesday night will probably be family dinner, but we'll catch up with some other stuff in the next day or two. So just keep an eye out on the socials of when I'm going to go live. And on your way out, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button if you're new, if you're digging the content, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Have a hell of a week, folks. Take care.